Subaru, our main character, finds himself at his parents' funeral, who both died in car accident, which means that Subaru is the last of his family to survive. Since a small child, he was always an introverted nerd, and after his parents died, he only got worse at speaking to people. He uses reading books as an escape from reality and becomes so interested in books that he becomes a writer himself. So for the biggest part of his life, he stays at home, writing books and also reading his own books. He finds himself having a writer's block and can't come up with anything to write about. Subaru's editor, Atsushi, suggests to him that he should go outside and take a walk to find inspiration for his writing. But Subaru brushes it off and ignores his good advice because he is scared of going outside as it makes him very nervous. What a sad life. One day, Subaru visits his parents' grave and brings some sashimi with him. This smell makes a cat come and visit him. Subaru looks at the cat and suddenly realizes what he will write about for his next book. He decides he will write about this cute gray and white looking cat, so he brings the cat to his home and claims it as his. Subaru never had a cat until now, so the cat makes him very confused sometimes. The cat sometimes spills all its food on the ground and then scratches on his bedroom door. Then as Subaru throws the food into the trash can, the cat gets angry. Weird. Having to meet his deadline, Subaru works all day long on his novel and forgot to eat. Because of this, he passes out. Atsushi, trying to contact Subaru, can't get a hold of him, and so he breaks into his house, finds him passed out, and wakes him up. Subaru, doing his best impression of the cat he just brought in, gets found by Atsushi with cat food all around his mouth. Even weirder than that, his book that he hadn't finished the day before, all of the sudden was finished. How did this happen? Well, the story is now told from the cat's view. The cat, being very curious about Subaru, didn't know that cat food wasn't for humans because, well, it's a cat, and the cat was dumb. So when she saw him working hard without eating any food, she gave some food of her own to him. She was angry when he threw it away because it was quite hard for her to find food when she was astray. Seeing Subaru lying on the ground, the cat remembers her younger sister, who died a long time ago. When she died, she was also lying on the floor, completely still. So when she was afraid that Subaru was dying, she bit his sleeve and tried to wake him up. He did wake up because he was hungry. Half asleep, he grabbed some cat food and put it in his mouth. Then, still half asleep, he finished writing his book and then went to sleep again. The cat was happy that Subaru didn't die. Subaru then went to the kitchen and found the last remaining can of food in the cupboard. Seeing that the cat wants the can, he gives it to her. The cat decides to stay with Subaru to enjoy the food and cans. But she didn't know that this would change her and his life forever. The day after, Subaru wakes up to find his cat lying on his computer. He thinks that he can get her to go away with some food, but he notices he has no cat food left. He goes to a pet shop to buy cat food, where he meets a clerk named Nana that asks him questions about his cat, and also asks what her name is. Subaru tells her that she doesn't have a name yet. Nana tells him to name the cat so he can call the cat and talk to it. Atsushi calls Subaru and tells him that readers of his new book want to know what the name of his cat is. So Subaru starts thinking of names for the cat. When he gets home, he finds the cat sleeping in his books. Subaru reads out different names and asks the cat to respond if she likes the name. He says a bunch of random names, but the cat does not react until Subaru says the name, Haru, and the cat finally answers. So Haru becomes the name of the cat. From Haru's point of view, Haru mistakenly thought the word Haru meant to eat because the name of a restaurant owner's daughter who used to feed her before was also Haru. Ever since then, the name has become synonymous with food. Atsushi is a cat lover, but his wife is allergic to cats, and he cannot keep a cat at home. When Atsushi learns that Subaru raises a cat, he goes to Subaru's house every day to visit Haru on the pretext of work. Atsushi asks Subaru to hold or pet Haru to lower her guard, only to be surprised to find out that Subaru has never touched Haru before. Subaru has to go into his parents' bedroom to find ink when his pen runs out of ink while writing. Subaru hasn't been in his parents' bedroom for a long time since his parents died. Haru follows him in and knocks over the photo album on the shelf. Subaru picks it up, and the pictures of the album remind Subaru of the old days, when Subaru's mother used to write down Subaru's favorite things with sticky notes. His parents liked to travel, but Subaru wouldn't come with them because he wanted to keep reading. One day, His parents went on another trip, but Subaru refused to join them again. His parents then got into an accident on a tour bus and passed away. Subaru thinks about his parents and cries. Haru sees this and goes up and licks his face, trying to comfort him. Subaru reaches out to pet Haru and realizes that she is very warm. From Haru's view, when she entered Subaru's parents' bedroom, she saw 2 clouds of pink gas, which are the spirits of Subaru's parents that only Haru can see. After Subaru falls asleep, his parents' spirits say thank you to Haru and then disappear. Atsushi is once again worried about Subaru because he can't contact him, so he comes to his house. Subaru sees him drenched and asks Atsushi if he wants to feed Haru. Atsushi asks Subaru to buy a collar for Haru so that the cat won't be mistaken for a stray and be taken away by somebody else. Imagining how various collars would look on Haru, Subaru chooses a red collar, which fits Haru well and makes him look very cute. Haru becomes fat because Subaru gives him way too much food. Nana, the clerk from the shop, teaches Subaru how to get Haru to lose weight. She comes to his house and is amazed at the amount of cat food he is feeding Haru. To help Haru lose some fat, Nana gives Subaru a bottle that gives food by rolling so that Haru eats and exercises at the same time. When Nana leaves, she forgets to take her apartment key with her, and Haru is too attached to it that she wouldn't let go. To return the key, Subaru takes Haru to Nana's place. Nana has a cat of her own named Hachi, who looks just like Haru. When Nana calls her cat Hachi, Hachu runs to Nana, and Subaru can't get Harry to listen to him either. Subaru calls his cat again, and Haru, who usually doesn't come, comes very quickly to Subaru this time. From Haru's perspective, Nana's apartment key had a familiar smell prompting Haru to take possession of it and wouldn't let go of it. The Hachi that looks like Haru is actually Haru's lost younger brother, from Hachi's clean fur and happy face. Haru knew that Hachi had met the right owner and no longer needed her protection. Hachi told Haru that the word Haru didn't mean to eat, but was her name. Whenever Subaru called Haru, he was calling out to her. So this time, Haru responded to Subaru. Nana's younger brother named Yugo comes home. Nana and Yugo happen to be big fans of Subaru's novels. But Yugo doesn't know that the Subaru in front of him is the writer of the novel, because Subaru usually only uses a pen name. Listening to Nana and her brother discussing Subaru's novel, Subaru feels embarrassed, so soon he leaves. Under the streetlight, Haru, who is in Subaru's arms, remembers her past. Long ago, Haru and her 4 younger siblings were abandoned in a box on the side of the road. Haru is the eldest sister. Her body size looks a little larger than her younger siblings. They were helped out by a stray tiger cat, Tora, and a stray black cat, Kuro. Tora and Kuro taught them how to run fast, how to find food, and reminded Haru to take good care of her weaker siblings. 2 of Haru's siblings were adopted by a family during a picnic, leaving Haru with just Hachi and 1 other brother. Crows with their sharp beaks and claws are the enemies of cats. One day, Haru and her remaining siblings were attacked by crows in the street. Tora and Kuro lured the crows, asking Haru to escape with her siblings, and that was the last time Haru saw Tora and Kuro. After the separation, Haru remembered Tora and Kuro's words, to be strong and take good care of her 2 younger siblings. The younger siblings were hungry, so Haru left them where they were and went to find food for them. When Haru returned with food in her mouth, she found crow's feathers all over the ground and the dead body of her younger sister on the ground, while Hachi was nowhere to be found. Now Haru found Hachi lived well and had a good owner, Nana. Haru felt very happy for him. Hiroto, Subaru's childhood friend, comes over with his 3 siblings later that day. While they play with Haru, the kids make Subaru feel overwhelmed. Hiroto opens Subaru's refrigerator, which is empty as usual, so Hiroto decides to order a takeout meal for Subaru in the evening. Atsushi also comes to Subaru's house. In the evening, they gather around the dinner table and eat the delicious takeout together. The cold house seems to feel like home. Subaru is no longer as resistant as before and even feels good about it. Later, Subaru faints due to a heavy cold. During this time, Atsushi and Hiroto are eager to take care of Subaru. Subaru falls asleep with Haru sitting on his chest. Subaru feels warm that even though his parents are gone, the house doesn't feel empty. The next day, Subaru wakes up early in the morning and puts on a suit that makes him feel uncomfortable. Then he leaves home for the bookstore to hold the book signing event. Feeling neglected, Haru could only take a nap to pass the time. It is already late in the evening when she wakes up. Haru is worried because she can't find Subaru anywhere. She gets under Subaru's covers to smell his scent. This makes her feel a little better, but she still feels like something is missing. Haru gets more and more anxious as Subaru still doesn't come back at night. On the other hand, although Subaru has long been mentally prepared, he still can't help but feel nervous in front of the crowd. He is so nervous that he signs the first book for his fan crookedly, but his fan is still happy. After he realizes his book means a lot to other people, he isn't so nervous anymore. A child who is introverted like Subaru gathers the courage to reach out his hand to Subaru, hoping to shake hands with Subaru. Subaru looks at the child's outstretched hand and suddenly realizes that he has been surrounded by warmth because so many fans love him. He decides that from now on, he must express his gratitude to his fans. Before the book signing event ends, Nana also comes here to meet with her favorite author. She finally finds out that Subaru is the author of her favorite novel. Before Nana leaves, Subaru gathers the courage to thank Nana for all the help she has given him during this time. Subaru comes home and finds it very messy. He thinks someone must have broken in. He then finds out it was Haru who messed around when she was anxious. He comforts her and falls asleep. A few months pass. Subaru is out of ideas for his next novel. He wanders in the yard and notices some blue flowers are very pretty. He learns from his neighbor that his deceased mother planted these blue flowers for him because his mother remembered that Subaru liked blue the most. Seeing that Subaru has no inspiration for his next novel, Atsushi suggests him to go out and find inspiration. To Atsushi's surprise, Subaru agrees to go out, which is very different from before. Subaru finds an empty flower pot in the yard that was intended to be for flowers from Tokushima, a place his parents were planning to visit before the tour bus accident claimed their lives. To let Subaru, who didn't like to go out, see the outside world as well, his mother would bring back seeds from every place she traveled. Subaru decides to fulfill her mother's wish and brings back the seeds from Tokushima. Before leaving, Subaru gives his house key to Hiroto, asking him to come and feed Haru regularly. Subaru then takes a plane to Tokushima. Tokushima is famous for its color indigo dye, because most Japanese indigo dye is produced in Tokushima. Subaru recalls that his old blue sweater has faded and that his mother should have wanted to come here because of the indigo dye in Tokushima. It is getting late, and Haru thinks that Subaru will be back tomorrow in the morning. The next day, Subaru is ready to go home and he gets some seeds to take home. But a storm breaks out unexpectedly in Japan, and all flights are cancelled due to the storm. Subaru has no choice but to catch the high-speed train and is expected to arrive home in 4 hours. He asks Hiroto to look after Haru. Haru, at this time, looks at the heavy rain outside and worries if Subaru is too scared to go home as her younger siblings did before, or if Subaru has fainted again. Hiroto arrives at Subaru's house. When the door opens, Haru rushes out to look for Subaru. Hiroto immediately calls Subaru to tell him. Subaru, who has already regarded Haru as his family member, can't bear to lose his family member again. On the other hand, Haru runs all over the corner and doesn't see Subaru. Subaru remembers his parents' grave was where he and Haru met before. Therefore, he runs to his parents' grave with Haru's favorite cans and keeps calling Haru's name. With a gust of wind, Haru is blown towards a deep ditch. The water beside her is flowing so fast that she is going to be washed away by the water if she is not careful. Just when Haru is feeling scared, she hears Subaru's sound. Finally, they find each other. Subaru, who tries to save Haru, falls into the ditch because of the slippery ground, but he still clings to Haru. When a crisis arises, he always puts his precious things more important than himself. After the storm is over, Subaru and Haru go home, where Nana gives Haru a bath, and Hiroto cooks the ramen Subaru brings back from Tokushima. They eat dinner together contentedly. Before his friends leave, Subaru thanks them from the bottom of his heart. Subaru used to be indifferent to the outside world, and now he cares about others. He feels that friendship, and the presence of Haru have changed him. Now he is no longer afraid to establish contact with people. In the yard, Mom's flower bed is full of flowers, and Subaru plants the seeds he brought back from Tokushima. He believes that the flower bed will bloom even more beautifully. Next year, Subaru comes up with a new novel idea. This time, the theme he wants to write about is family. Subaru starts his new novel with Haru sitting on his lap and then climbing onto his head.